We have the one and only Robin Cross of StoneX with us, and he hails from Chicago. He's our lumber expert. Let's talk about the lumber market here. Robin, give me an idea what took place this week here.
Good morning, Marlon. Thank you for having me. It's so good to be on the air with you today. First, let's go some prices. We got September lumber sitting at $553.50. That's up $450 with only 61 trades, a little light volume today. November's trading at $551.50, down $7 with only 6 trades over there. We have some new housing data that just came out just a couple of minutes ago, and I'd like to cover that before we dive into the details of the lumber futures market. So we had existing home sales came out down 3.3% at 4.16 million rate. U.S. inventory of unsold homes is hovering at, the pretty dismal 3.1 month supply. That's going to come into play in the future. Mark my words, Marlon. And then the June medium existing home price was down slightly, down basically 1% at 410,000. And yesterday, we also had some other big news. We had housing starts and building permits. Housing starts came down a whopping 8% at 1.434 million, but I expected that. If you remember, last month we were on the air together, and it was up 15%, and no one could explain why. And I said, watch the next report. It will be corrected. So this is that correction. And then building permits, which is the gauge of future business, came down about almost 4%, down 3.7% at 1.440 million. Now I guess we'll take a look at lumber. Last Friday we had expiration, so I just missed you by a day, of the July contract, and we expired at a lofty $564. That was the highest expiration since all the way back September 2022 when we expired at 605. But since then, every single expiration between then and now all closed under the pivotal 500 delivery Chicago. And the reason for the strength was pretty simple. It says what we were looking for several weeks building into that contract, which was production curtailments and fear of forest fires, especially coming out of British Columbia. So where does that leave us now? Coming into the start of September, post-expiration futures were definitely overbought. We rallied all the way from June 5th, 550 was the swing low, all the way to last week's high of $596. So a straight gain of $96 in the last 25 days. So the market just, was tired up there. Then the last 2 days of profit-taking long liquidation brought the market all the way down from $596 to a new low, $541. That was a loss of $55 with a break to the first level of major support. So, 600 was our upside objective. 542 was our downside objective for the time being. So the first time in a long time, Marlon, in the same week, which I couldn't even tell you the last time this happened, the market both gave you a premium to sell, a pretty juicy premium to sell, and a discount to buy versus the underlying cash price of $558 delivered Chicago. So there was opportunity on both sides of the market for guys to take advantage. But as you know, July and August especially, this is, some of our longest months for lumber. A lot of guys seem to be out of the office, and it's truly a nervous fundamental market. Every little thing can move the needle, So right now what traders need to look out for is, keep an eye on fires there and look to take advantage. Because I have a feeling that, with the curtailments, the mills have showed that they're willing to continue to curtail. The only thing that's kind of like in my gut that's opposed to that is the fact that, they're publicly traded companies. So these guys have to produce a product. Who wants to invest in a company that's always on the sidelines? So that's where we're getting a little tricky with this. But I would say, just be careful and wait for these opportunities of premium and discount because they will give you them. And, August, as I always say, is a total coin flip. So I would just, like I said, just be careful, and we'll see where she goes from here.
Yeah, that's very good advice. Well, thanks for pointing that out. Robin, always a pleasure to talk with you. Thanks for all the info and the housing market update as well. Appreciate that. Robin Cross of StoneX in Chicago will come back in a moment, and I'll run through our livestock trade right after this.